The indomitable martial style of heaven is a dance of defiance. The story of Xingtian, the Chinese warrior of mythology, sets the stage for creation for the indomitable martial style of heaven, a martial art that transcends the boundaries of physical combat and embodies the power of spiritual resistance. Xingtian, once a mighty warrior, faced off against the supreme god De in a battle for ultimate power. The clash between them shook the heavens, but in the end, De was victorious. With a single strike, De severed Xingtian's head, symbolizing the annihilation of his earthly form. However, Xingtian's indomitable spirit could not be defeated so easily. His head was buried at the Eternally Auspicious Mountain, but something miraculous occurred. His body began to transform, his nipple turning into eyes, his navel becoming a mouth, giving him a new form of consciousness. He arises as an eternal figure, performing a fierce dance with an axe and shield, embodying the act of resistance. Ting Chang continues to fight, symbolizing the unyielding nature of the spirit. This narrative serves as a foundation for the indomitable martial style of heaven, a system rooted in resilience, defiance, and a relentless will to fight no matter the circumstances. This style draws its first principle from Xingqiang's transformation after death, resilience through transformation. Xingqiang's journey from decapitation to rebirth represents a martial philosophy rooted in alchemy, as it teaches practitioners to overcome limitations through their own inner strength and adaptability. In the indomitable martial style, combat is not simply about striking or defending, but about continuously evolving even in the face of overwhelming adversity. Just as Xingqiang's physical body was broken, his spirit adapted, alchemizing, transcending the need for a head, using his chest as eyes, his navel as a mouth to continue in his eternal struggle. This teaches that the alchemist, who is unrelenting, true strength comes from within, an unrelenting drive to fight, even when physical limitations might suggest defeat. The spirit of defiance is echoed in the biblical account of Jacob wrestling with God in Genesis chapter 32, verses 22 to 26. Jacob, alone and vulnerable, finds himself in a wrestling match with a mysterious man in the middle of the night. Though the man is more powerful, Jacob refuses to surrender, holding on through the night until daybreak. In the midst of the struggle, the man touches Jacob's hip, wrenching it out of place, and yet Jacob does not release his hold. Instead, he demands a blessing before he will let go. This moment of tenacity, where Jacob clings to the man despite the excruciating pain and the certainty of his own weakness, represents the second principle of the indomitable martial style, unwavering willpower in the face of defeat. For Jacob's battle is one of pure resistance, a fight against both external forces and internal doubt. Just as Jacob wrestles with God, martial artists here are practicing the indomitable martial style, and they must engage in an internal struggle against their own fears, their own limitations, and their own self doubt. The art teaches that victory is not always found through overpowering an opponent, but through persevering all throughout the struggle itself. The will to continue fighting despite all odds is what determines the outcome. In Jacob's case, it is his refusal to let go that ultimately earns him the blessing. And in martial terms, it is the fighter's resilience and perseverance in the face of overwhelming adversity that turns the tide of battle. The indomitable martial style of heaven is not about seeking victory through dominance or overpowering force. Rather, it is about finding strength in resistance itself. The art teaches that the key to true mastery lies not in surrendering to circumstances, but embracing the struggle and finding ways to adapt, endure, and persist. Every blow, every moment in this martial system is a form of resistance. In the practice of this style, practitioners engage in a constant dance of energy. They draw inspiration from both Xingqiang's ceaseless battle and Jacob's refusal to release his grip. The martial artist does not submit when faced with pain, but channels it, transforming it, alchemizing it, turning what would be perceived as weakness into a source of greater strength. The form and technique of the indomitable martial style of heaven is built on an energetic foundation. Just as Xingqiang's transformation into a being of eternal struggle reflects the limitless potential of the human spirit, this martial art is deeply rooted in energy-based techniques. Rather than relying solely on brute strength, practitioners tap into their own life force, that which we call qi, or spiritual energy, to fuel their movements. This energy flows through the body, connecting the mind and spirit in a seamless flow of power. The more a practitioner resists the natural impulse to give in, or to pain or exhaustion, the stronger their energy becomes, allowing them to fight longer, harder, and with greater precision. Central to this energy based combat is the idea of balance between aggression and calm. The practitioner must learn to harmonize their movements, flowing with the opponent's energy instead of opposing it directly. This is where the dance of Xingtian becomes significant. With his axe and shield, Xingtian moves not with force, but with an understanding of the flow of the battle, channeling his movements with the grace of someone who has transcended the need for dominance. In the Indomitable martial style, the same principle applies. The martial artist flows with the opponent's energy, using their own resistance to redirect force rather than directly absorbing it. This is what the unrelenting alchemist does. The style also emphasizes the awareness of the moment. Just as Jacob's battle with the divine occurs in the dark of night, the martial artist must operate with heightened awareness of their surroundings, using every moment to anticipate and respond to incoming threats. The Indomitable martial style teaches that even in moments of seemingly insurmountable difficulty, the martial artist must remain aware, must remain grounded, and must always be focused. The key to success is in perceiving the rhythm of the fight and using this awareness to outlast and overcome an opponent's tactics. As we come to the final aspect of the style, we see that the ultimate lesson of the Indomitable martial style is about endurance and transcendence. Both Xingtian and Jacob endured their battles through sheer will, transforming themselves into symbols of persistence, resistance, and spiritual victory. In the martial arts practice, this lesson manifests the ability to endure through endless struggle without losing one's sense of purpose or inner peace. Practitioners learn to transcend the physical, getting past their limitations by mastering the flow of energy, moving beyond mere survival to achieve self mastery as a whole. In conclusion, our eternal dance of defiance, our indomitable martial style of heaven, is not just a combat system. It is a philosophy, it is a way of life. It is born from the myth of Xingtian and the biblical story of Jacob's wrestling match. This martial style teaches practitioners to resist surrender in the face of overwhelming odds, because it is a style rooted in energy, spirit, and an unwavering will to endure and persevere. The resilience, a form of combat that transcends physical limitations by focusing on energy, transformation, and endurance. Just as Xingtian rose again after his defeat, Jacob received a blessing through his refusal to let go. And the practitioners of this style learn to fight not just for victory, but for the spiritual mastery that comes through resistance and perseverance. The Indomitable martial style of heaven is an art of defiance, an energy based combat system that teaches the practitioner that no matter how impossible the struggle, victory itself is found in the very act of unrelenting resistance. If you like this message, please like, share, and subscribe. If you're new here, you're welcome. This is a safe space. If you're returning, I'm glad that you're back. In the name of the Most High God, I wish you health, wealth, prosperity, and abundance, blessings, and protection as you so deserve. Remember, you have to persevere. You have to endure. Do not surrender.